The Eternals remains a very divisive film among critics and Marvel fans. Now we have a very interesting quote from one of the stars of the film, specifically Barry Keoghan, who of course played Druigi, and why he believes that the film was not so well received. Okay, look, let's address this right off the bat. I hear many of you every time we make an Eternals video. If you love Eternals, if you think it's the greatest thing ever, the greatest thing since sliced bread was invented, and absolute peak of comic book films, I respect that. That's great. That's your opinion. Also, then understand that not many people feel that way, and they feel the complete opposite. So, just so we're clear, there is a baseline here that not everybody thinks the same. Again, how many times do I have to bring up that the moment I tell people, yeah, my favorite comic book film of all time is X-Men First Class, they literally look at me sideways. They're like, this can't be right. That cannot be true. And I'm like, oh, it is. It very much is. But again, saying it's my favorite doesn't mean I'm saying it's the best thing ever. I just want to make that distinction. So now let's talk about what Barry Keoghan said. And this was him, Druigi, again, from the Eternals, talking about the less than stellar reception to Eternals, which I checked right now sits on Rotten Tomatoes with 405 reviews out of 47, and the audience consensus at 77%. So upon reflecting on this film with the Happy, Sad, Confused show, he said that he believes that the film was not very well received, not because it's bad. He thinks it's because it's a new kind of movie for the Marvel Universe. And he attributes this to how Chloe Zhao directs films, and if you look at what she pulled in terms of performance out of some of the actors and what they were going for, that it's very much not the type of MCU film that you expect. Again, I'm going to agree with him 100%. It was not what I expected. I expected to go in there and get a giant action sequence featuring the Eternal and these characters that are literally like seen as gods, putting on their best show of like Superman-like display of power, and it really kind of ramping up to be a typical comic book film, right? We didn't get that. We didn't. The end has some great action sequences, but it leaves a lot to be desired. It felt like a setup film, and it definitely looked different than anything we've seen in the MCU. So that's for sure. So I agree with him, but at the same time, there is many elements of this that have been done in other MCU films that's been handled much better. Like some people have said, well, it's because they introduced many new characters. Okay, Guardians worked. Guardians 1 worked, and that had a way higher concept idea and things going on than Eternals. Like, these guys are on Earth for most of the film. The Guardians, you have to convince me a tree and a talking raccoon are best friends. So I don't necessarily agree with all of this, but I can respect it and I see where he's coming from. So what do you guys think? Do you think he's right? Did it fail because it wasn't a typical Marvel film? It was a new kind of Marvel film?